All right, hello, beautiful people. Let's get into it for tonight. Topic for tonight. How can I get into a calorie deficit and how can I stay there? All right. Now, if you see me looking up here, it means I got my little board up here because I got a lot to go over with you guys tonight. All right. All right. First, when we're looking at getting to a diet or calorie deficit, every time you hear me say calorie deficit tonight, I want you to think of dieting, okay? Restricting calories, pulling back calories, all right? First thing, all right? Timing, okay? When people enter diets, you need to be in a right headspace. It needs to be the right time. Not when you're trying to move or transition out of life. Not when you, for example, if you got, you're going on a trip and in 2 weeks you're like, you know what, I want to lose 5-10 pounds. That's not the right time. You just can't pull like that. You can, but it's going to come back tenfold. Who wants to diet before a vacation and then come back 15-20 pounds heavier, right? Anytime you lose weight, your metabolic rate's going to go down. You're going to go on vacation, eat a lot of food. You're not going to have the same metabolic rate, henceforth, all right? So timing needs to be key, all right? Going along with timing as well, you just can't, like I said, just because summer's coming up doesn't mean it's necessarily a good time for you. Maybe you got family, maybe you got kids, maybe you got stuff coming up. No one wants to deal with a person that's super, super busy or a family, or nobody wants to associate with somebody that's super, super busy and they're like, hey, you know what, I'm trying to diet, all right? Pick your time in there, all right? Second up, all right, food choices. Plain and simple. You're like, well, Gil, dieting, you're eating less. Yes, but I'm big on toleration, all right? I'm not the type of person that says you're going to eat chicken, you're going to eat broccoli, you're going to eat asparagus. That's it. No, nothing other your favorite foods, all right? When I consult with clients, all right, when I consult with athletes, we spend upwards of 4 weeks to 6 weeks, gathering data on, hey, what do we like? What can we tolerate? What makes us, what makes our stomach upset? What makes our stomach happy? What can we eat before bed? What can we eat before training? What can we eat before bed that's going to help me sleep? If I eat something before bed, is it not going to help me sleep? All right. That is all foods. All right. Now, going along with that, with foods, fast food. There's some people out there that are still athletes and, they live pretty active lifestyles, with their career, flight attendants, hairdressers, traveling nurses, all right? You're going to be on the go, and I'm not a big proportion of somebody wanting to carry around a lunch bag full of food all the time. This is where fast food comes into play. There's been tremendous, and I mean tremendous, fast foods come up with, if I want to say, macro friendly options. But even then, like, say I go to Chick-fil-A, if I get a fried chicken sandwich, that's only 400, 500 calories. All right. And then, of course, if you're like, I don't want fried, they got grilled chicken options. McDonald's has got options. Taco Bell's got options. And even if you're going to a mom and pop shop, you can still account for that. It doesn't have to be accurate. All right. Next up, what I got up there? Hold on. I gotta see what I got. Convenience. Convenience, all right? That kind of goes back to the fast food, all right? Convenience, all right? And as well as timing, all right? If you're somebody that wakes up in the morning and, you got work to do and you're like, I don't really want to focus on trying to eat right in the morning. I'm not saying you got to fast. But, maybe you have some coffee, maybe you have a breakfast bar, maybe you just have a donut in the morning, something to hold you over. How accessible are you to food at certain times? I've had people, some athletes, they're like, hey, you know what, Gil, I only get to eat between 12 and 2, and I'm usually not hungry in that time. So we started looking at what we were eating before dinner, and she was having a pretty hefty meal before dinner. I was like, hey, you know what, I'm not trying to tell you to cut back on dinner beforehand, but let's try to eat a little bit more in the day. That way, when dinner time comes, you don't have to eat as much, and you're going to be hungry around that 12, 2 o'clock block. That way you can get food, get on with your day, not have to worry about, I'm having to force myself to eat. All right. So convenience is a big thing, all right? So timing with that, whether you're fasting or not, it's all going to be client. All right, next up, we have convenience, okay? So when you're looking at, well, let me adjust this camera so it's a little bit taller. All right, when we're looking at convenience, okay, we're looking at, how convenient, how accessible we are to food, all right? I've had an athlete in the past, for example, they're not very hungry in the mornings. So that's completely fine, all right? What we can do is, they were telling me, hey, Gil, you know what, I have from 12 to 2 to eat, but I'm usually not hungry around that time. So we did some data. We looked at, kind of her feedback, and, we kind of found out that she was having a heavier meal at dinner time before bed. So suggestion wise, we're like, hey, I'm not saying you had to restrict calories or had to pull back how much you're eating before dinner the night before, but let's, try and eat a little bit more food during the day, have a little bit lighter dinner. That way the next day you're a little bit hungrier around, that 12 to 2 block you had to worry about stressing over it, all right? So convenience is big, all right? If you're not a morning eater, hey, you know what, have some coffee. If you want to fast, all right? But like I said, that's not for everybody, okay? Next up, cycling. Calorie cycling, carb cycling. First up, calorie cycling. All right. If I have a 14,000, calorie weekly budget, it may look like this. It may be 1,000 calories on Monday. Not saying you should eat that. 1,000 calories on Monday, 2,000 on Tuesday, 2,500 on Wednesday, 1,200 on Thursday. And, Saturdays and Sundays is going to be up and down. As long as you equate up to that 12,000 calories to help you lose weight, you're still going to lose weight. It doesn't matter if you have a higher day or a lower day. This is why I don't put a whole lot of emphasis if a client is like, hey, Gil, I had a super, big weekend. I ate a lot of food, or I had, a surplus of food on Monday. Okay, cool. You're going to find out very quickly that you're probably not as hungry as you typically are the next day, and you can easily balance that out, all right? Next up, carb cycling. All right, now carb cycling is not for everybody. All right, I have certain clients that love carb cycling. I have some people that actually hate it. Carb cycling is just a way of having lower and higher carb days. Calories are still equating there while you're in a deficit, but at the same time, is it for everybody? No. So for example, with carb cycling, I may have in the past, I've done it myself. My low carb day may be 250 grams. Then my high carb day may be 475 grams, all right? Going to be a difference of me just doing math on top of my head, probably around about 500 to 700 calories there, all right? I'm still in a deficit. We were just toggling with my calories with the carbs. All right. Now, energy-wise, I did not like that, especially with me performing and, kind of performance sport. I did find on my low-carb days I was a little bit lethargic. So, like I said, it is not for everybody. I do recommend it for physique athletes that, their only primary goal is body composition. That's it. All right. Lastly on the list is higher calorie weekends. All right. Now, this is not a means for us to think, what, Gil's promoting cheat meals, all right? I hate the word cheat. There's no need for it, all right? Higher calorie weekends, I'm an advocate of it just because on the weekends, I'm going out, I'm eating later, there's food, there's chicken wings, there's fries, there's donuts, all the stuff when I'm hanging around and socializing people I want to eat. All right, higher calorie weekends actually help you adhere to a calorie deficit. All right. So for example, throughout Monday through Friday, you know what? I'm on track. You know what? I'm saving calories for the weekend, if you want to call that. Don't hoard, but that's a whole other video. I'm on my stuff. And then, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, hey, I want to go out for a drink. Hey, you know what? I want to have some cheese sticks. Hey, you know what? I want to have some donuts. All right. I'm not saying you got to eat until you're blue in the face. But at the same time, like I said, you can have, an extra donut. You can have an extra roll of bread. You can have an extra set of French fries, all right? As long as your calories add up at the end of the week, you can do what you want. Anyways, guys, that is going to be it. You can see this is a little bit of a longer one, but like I said, I had a list of stuff to get through, and I want to get this information out to you guys, all right? This is free info. You can apply it however you wish. Anyways, guys, like, comment, subscribe. If you're not following me on Instagram, at Real Johnson Gill, putting up great content on there as well, all right? So anyways, guys, peace out. Until tomorrow, We'll see what that brings.